Hello, Frank Fellers, owner of Fellers. We're going to talk about the IR temperature guns that we sell through our catalog and at fellers.com. We've got a couple different versions. I'm really fortunate to have Justin Pate here. He's the world's leading RAP trainer, owner of the RAP Institute. You do a lot of training all over the world. And I know that these IR temperature guns are used quite a bit. I know the manufacturers really recommend us to use these. So Justin, tell us why it's important to have these in your tool chest.
Well, for me, as a teacher and in the videos, I try to make wrapping as simple as possible. And I say there's 4 steps when you're wrapping a car, for example. Is you want to clean it, choose the right material, you want to not overstretch the material, and then you want to post-heat. Okay, now post-heating really gets into IR, these tools, the IR temperature gauge.
Right.
So basically what you want to do is at the end, you want to heat the surface of the material up to a certain temperature, and every manufacturer specifies different. So if you don't have these, you can't hit that sweet spot for the manufacturer, so for post-heating. So again, you have 2 different kinds, and what you really want is the IR temperature gauge is a really good readout on the back, and so you want to make sure you have a heat gun and you kind of go along and you get the right temperature. Okay, so if you don't have this, there's no way you can properly post-heat. So this for me is essential to have. Is, let's say your squeegee. If you don't have a squeegee, you can't wrap. If you don't have this, you can't properly finish a wrap. And what's nice about the tools you have here is, for instance, this yellow shuttle here is sometimes you can combine it. With the one you have in here, you'd have to hold both at the same time, which is fine. Or you could buy this tool, then you can combine the 2 so it does both at the same time. So you don't have to hold it, you can have one hand free. So again, but for me, this is an essential tool to have. If you want to wrap cars today, you have to have this in your tool bag. So for me, make sure you get a good one with a good screen. And again, I'll talk about the different uses because it's really important how you hold it and how you use it.
Okay, thanks, Justin.
The Mastercool infrared thermometer comes in a hard-shell plastic container. When opened, the instruction manual is at a slot at the top. Diagrams on the left show the functions of the outside of the IR thermometer as well as the digital display. In the middle and on the right are instructions and specifications. Pulling the IR thermometer out, Mastercool logo on the left, no important information. The top section, easy button to switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. The batteries are located in the handle. Remove the shell and you can see that it's 2 AA batteries, clear direction on which way to put them. Pulling the trigger activates the laser, which immediately turns on the digital display, and you can see the temperature of the surface. So whatever the laser is pointing at, the digital display gives an exact reading, and again it could be in Celsius or Fahrenheit. And on the right hand side of the IR thermometer is the digital ratio guide. Once you're done, you simply just put it back in the hard shell case. And again, what's great about this case is it's very durable, so the IR thermometer will not get damaged in the tool bag. The other IR thermometer that Fellers carries is by Yellow Tools. It looks like a standard IR thermometer in the sense that it has a trigger at the front, but it has 2 features that make it unique. When you open up the front handle section there, you see a 9-volt battery, but there's a switch inside there that says on and off. By flipping it on, makes the laser come on all the time, so no need to hold the trigger, and you can also switch it between Celsius and Fahrenheit there. But with the laser constantly on, it frees the finger from having to pull the trigger, but more importantly, if you notice the shell on the right side of the IR thermometer, this fits the front of a Steinel heat gun exactly. So with the Steinel heat gun, you simply twist off the cap there, and then you simply twist this shell back onto the Steinel heat gun, and now you can post-heat with one hand. And because the shuttle is precisely made for the Steinel heat gun, you can heat from lots of different angles without the IR thermometer slipping. With either IR thermometer, the trick is you want to make sure that the laser follows the heat source. So once the heat gun reaches the proper temperature that you want, you simply first go with the heat source and let the laser follow. You don't want the laser to go first because that'll give an incorrect reading. The laser following the heat really gets a good precise temperature of the film. So now again you can see on the back there on the display, nice good clear display with both IR thermometers. But again, now you can see that it's hit that sweet spot around 180 degrees Fahrenheit for this particular film. So again, you want to go nice and slow. So once you see that temperature kind of dip, slow the heat gun a little bit, make sure you get that sweet spot with the temperature. So again, try to always get it around 10 to 15 degrees of the spot you want to get. Especially you want to stay above that area. So again, let it get to that spot, then find the pace with the heat gun. So certain heat guns, particularly that Steinel, you maybe want to increase the heat. And again, what's great about this yellow shuttle in particular is because you can post heat with one hand. If you need to answer a quick phone call, you can grab your phone, answer the phone call while reading at the same time. So again, that's the big benefit of the yellow shuttle right there. Now, again, just to be clear, with the yellow shuttle, it doesn't fit on all styles of heat guns. Even though this looks fairly similar, it doesn't click in exactly. So again, only Steinel heat guns work with this element. And a great thing about the IR thermometer from Mastercool is that it fits in a lot of tool belts. Many of these tool belts have pockets right there, so you can always have the IR thermometer on you during the job. Very good tip with all IR thermometers is to have backup batteries. There's nothing worse than being on a job and having a dead battery back in there. So always in your tool bag carry at least 1 or 2 backup batteries, because post heating is very essential to do, especially on vehicles, to make sure that the memory is dead of the material. This ensures long-term durability, so having backup batteries really makes a big difference in finishing jobs correctly. Another good tip is disconnect the battery. This is particularly the case with the yellow tool's IR thermometer in the sense that that on and off switch, if you don't turn it off, the laser stays on, which can drain the battery. So just always disconnect it and put it back in your tool bag.